We're going to go for the double tonight, because we have reached, ladies and gentlemen, the final award of the evening, the Cummins Turbo Technologies Achievement Award. This year's Achievement Award goes to the internationally renowned poet Simon Armitage, who has always stayed loyal to his Huddersfield roots. Although he spends one day in London, he can't wait to get back to Huddersfield, which he describes as a great place to come back to. Simon's love of poetry began at Combe Valley High School, where he was inspired by two English teachers, Jeff Bamford and Mike Shaw. The school now has a house system, with each one named after someone from the arts, and one is called Armitage. Simon has reached just about every high there is in the poetry genre, except for one, in which he was robbed. Next time. Topped off with a CBE for his outstanding services to literature earlier this year. In February, he took up the position of Professor of Poetry in the School of English Literature, Language and Linguistics at the University of Sheffield, and firmly believes that poetry is more relevant than ever. He said recently, there is no sign of it declining. It has strong book sales, and when you go to music festivals, there is often a poetry tent. We live in an environment where people say the first thing that comes into their head, and sometimes print it. Poetry is the exact opposite. To present the award, please welcome to the stage from Cummins Turbo Technologies, Mark Pryor, and our Lifetime Achievement Award winner for 2011. It's my great honour and privilege and pleasure to introduce Simon Armitage, CBE.
It's a great honour to be given this award. I'd like to congratulate all tonight's nominees and recipients, and I want to thank everyone at the Examiner for their generosity and for all the support that they've given me over the years. If you were going to choose a way of making your life in this world and a place to start from, you might not choose poetry, and you might not choose Huddersfield. Occasionally, it's been a long and bumpy road, and it's one that I'm still travelling. But I've always felt like my hometown has been solidly behind me, and I'm both grateful and proud. I once stood in the middle of New York City, watching my name go around the electronic zipper sign in Times Square, and it felt pretty thrilling. But not quite as thrilling as it felt when I saw my name in the Examiner for the first ever time. As a poet, that is, not in the cricket roundup, which was Marsden second 11, usually S. Armitage, bold pie chucker for none. When I told my mum about tonight, she asked me if it was a Lifetime's Achievement Award, and part of me wanted to say no, because in many ways I feel as if I've only just started. And part of me wanted to say yes, because that would mean I could now put my feet up and eat cream cakes for the rest of my life. It was a similar feeling to when I published a book called All Points North about 15 years ago. Sometimes I'd see it in the travel section of bookshops, sometimes in the autobiography section, once on the mind, body and spirit shelf, next to a book about the life-enhancing properties of scented candles, and once in a section called Memoir, alongside a lot of dead people. Zoom. It begins as a house, an end terrace in this case, but it will not stop there. Soon it is an avenue which cambers arrogantly past the Mechanics' Institute, turns left at the main road without even looking, and quickly it is a town with all 4 major clearing banks, a daily paper and a football team pushing for promotion. On it goes, oblivious to the planning acts, the green belts, and before we know it, it is out of our hands. City, nation, hemisphere, universe, hammering out in all directions until suddenly, mercifully, it is drawn aside through the eye of a black hole and bulleted into a neighbouring galaxy, emerging smaller and smoother than a billiard ball, but weighing more than Saturn. People stop me in the street, badger me in the checkout queue and ask, "What is this? This that is so small and so very smooth, but whose mass is greater than the ringed planet?" It's just words, I assure them. They will not have it. Thank you very much.